This 6'4" two-way demigod build gets a 96 3-point rating, which means you can green ridiculously contested threes on a consistent basis. Gets a 92 ball handling rating, which means you unlock the best dribble moves in the entire game. Gets an 87 perimeter defense and an 86 steal, which means you can guard ball yourself and be your very own lockdown defender. And on top of all that, gets an insanely high speed and agility rating, so you're doing all of this while being ridiculously fast. This is the only build in the entire game that lets you green 6 threes in a row with no interruption. In other words, this two-way sharpshooter build breaks 2K's algorithm that forces you to miss after you green a certain amount of shots in a row. So if you're trying to increase your shooting percentage, this is the build for you. What's up, Simply Squad? It's your boy Green Bean Grinding, and y'all, I haven't been this excited to post a build video in a minute. I have been absolutely dominating on this build. Not only am I shooting 53% from 3 in over 300 park games playing only on guard, I've yet to see a build that can shoot this consistently on park, let alone ranked proving grounds, where in my first 50 games I went 40-6, averaging 17 points per game while shooting 55% from the 3. And that's on the hardest difficulty game mode, where the green window is ridiculously small. If y'all don't believe me, please go check out this video and watch me dominate ranked proving grounds on this build. It is absolutely insane. In that video, I also show y'all exactly how I shoot so well in the park and why it's become easy for me to shoot 5 for 5 and 6 for 6 from 3, despite there being an algorithm within the game that is supposed to make you miss after you green 3 in a row. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the main reason is this build. So today, not only am I gonna give y'all the build, I'm gonna give y'all the jump shot, the dribble moves, the badges, everything you need to know to dominate your first time playing on this build. All I ask for in return for all this information in one video is for y'all to drop a like and drop a sub with notifications on. And even if you think you're sub, double check to make sure. And if you think I'm just showing you highlights on YouTube, please feel free to come through to my Twitch. I'm live right now. I go live every single day and go on a 30+ game win streak in the park while reading every single chat y'all type, including the ones where y'all ask me stuff about the game so I can help you become better and help you have more fun. Now anyways, y'all, I've yapped enough. Let's get into the build. Alright, y'all, now for the build. You can go right or left-handed, it's up to you. Just know that if you pick right-handed and you fade to your right, the fade is gonna be a little slow, and then if you fade to your left, it's gonna be way quicker. And then vice versa, if you pick your left hand as your dominant hand, if you fade to the left, it's gonna be slow, and then if you fade to the right, it's gonna be a lot quicker. The build is gonna be a point guard. Your height is gonna be 6'4". Your weight is gonna be the lowest possible weight, which is 175 pounds, and your wingspan is actually gonna be 6'6". And the reason for that we'll get into right now. The first thing we're gonna upgrade on this build is our 3-point to a massive 96 overall rating, which of course is gonna give us all of these shooting badges on Hall of Fame. Now I already know the main question I'm gonna get is, grinding, why are 6'4s good? I thought we needed mini marksman. Well, after 2 weeks of playing the game, we all kind of figured out that contests just aren't a thing on this game. And even when you do get lightly contested, you can still green it every single time. So yeah, mini marksman isn't needed, and this 6'4 build is a menace on defense, bro. If you watch my Twitch streams, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I be looking like a lockdown defender when I play the 2s. Trust me, you're gonna love this build. After that, we're gonna go to our ball handle and upgrade it to a 92 overall ball handle, which is kind of insane. I'd be calling this build a two-way sharp build, but in reality, you're actually a point guard who can just shoot really well and play defense really well at the same time. So to match that point guard status, we're gonna make our speed with ball an 86 to get gold lightning launch, and then we're gonna upgrade our pass accuracy to a 71. Once again, for everyone that complains about a 71 pass accuracy on a point guard, even with lanes being stupid overpowered this year, this is all you need to make passes effectively if you're making the right passes. Again, y'all, you've seen my 2K record, you've seen my percentages. I win around 93% of my parking. If I was throwing Stevies every single play, that would not be the case. And don't worry, we're gonna come back and talk about this overpowered offense we have, but now let's get into the defense. Our perimeter defense is gonna be an 87 overall rating, specifically for off-ball pest Hall of Fame. Y'all seen in the clips, a big part of this build is dexing around and getting wide open threes off the catch and shoot. You want to be able to guard that playstyle as well, because if you can't, you're gonna be in a lot of pain, especially on the 2s core, which is where I mainly use this build. And here, we'll upgrade our steal before I talk about this next part. Our steal is gonna be an 86 overall rating, of course, for gold interceptor and silver glove. And the reason we go 86 instead of 85 is because once we get our cap breakers, we are gonna put our +5 on our steal to get gold glove and just increase our passing lane lane steal efficiency by a large margin. And what I was gonna say is that whenever I play on this build, I genuinely feel like a lockdown defender. If y'all don't know, people have been throwing away the taller lockdown builds and have been making 6'4" lockdown builds as the meta in NBA 2K25. I wish I was kidding, but being fast and small is way better than being big and long. Pause. It just is better this year. It genuinely is. So the fact that we get these defensive stats on a build that gets a 96 3-point rating and can green in people's eyes as well as create its own shot off the dribble is actually insane. And we're not done with the defense either. Our interior defense is gonna be a 66 overall rating. The reason for 66 specifically is because once we upgrade our physicals and our finishing, 66 is all we'll be able to raise this to, and it's also all you need to be able to get stops in the paint consistently. I'm telling you, people are still stuck in that 2K24 mindset. People keep trying to backdoor me on the twos, bro, and they look stupid every single time. I destroy people in the paint with this build. Small guards are just ridiculously overpowered. The only people that body me in the paint are the 7-foot+ post scorers who are literally designed to body people in the paint, whether they're a center or a guard. But if you make a normal guard build and try to body me in the paint, it is just not happening. For our physicals, we're gonna go in 85 agility and in 85 speed. For those of y'all that don't know the difference between agility, speed, and speed with ball, agility affects your lateral movement, so your lateral quickness on defense, as well as the first 1 to 2 seconds of your sprint before your speed kicks in. Your speed affects how fast you move without the ball, so after your 1 to 2 seconds of agility speed burst, that's when your speed rating kicks in, so it affects when you're sprinting on fast breaks, it affects when you're going for lane steals, it affects when you're sprinting out to your guy trying to get a contest. That is what speed rating is. So they're both pretty important, but I always say that if you go defense on your build, you want to prioritize agility, which is why we made our agility in 85 and our speed in 85 as well, instead of going like a 90 speed and an 80 agility. Trust me, you are going to feel ridiculously quick on defense. I promise you I'm not lying when I say I feel like a mini lockdown defender whenever I'm playing the twos on this build, bro. I absolutely love it. And again, if you don't believe me, please come through to the Twitch streams, watch me go on 30-game win streaks every single day live on Twitch. I do it on Twitch every day. It's twitch.tv/simplygrinding. I hope to see you come through. Ask any questions you got about the build. I will answer them. I'm the best chat reader on Twitch. Now, continuing on with the build, we're going to go a 65 vertical, which you'll see why once we do our finishing. And then to finish it off for our driving dunk and our finishing, it's going to be a 73 overall rating to not only get bronze posterizer and some dunk animations, but to also just be able to dunk in general. Whenever they play super high in your 3 after you green 3 or 4 in a row, which by the way is very possible. If you don't believe me, go watch my gameplay video yesterday. I greened 6 threes in a row in the park with no interruptions, and I also greened 4 in a row in proving grounds with no interruptions. So all of y'all that said it's not possible in proving grounds, I proved that theory wrong as well on this build. And I think the main reason for that is because of the 96-3. I feel like the 96-3 is the threshold to be able to break the algorithm 2K has in the game, but that's just a theory. We'll see if that pans out later on. But yeah, once you start sparking threes, you're gonna want to have driving dunks so you have a driving threat. That way they have to play you honest. They can't just hug you on the 3-point line, making your life difficult. They have to play your 2 and your 3, which makes your life super easy. And then to finish off the build, the only thing you can upgrade is your standing dunk +1, and your build is finished. Now let's do a quick overview to see what you're making, because on paper, compared to my 6'3 build, this build doesn't look that insane, but there are specific reasons I made this build, and there's a specific reason why I'm dominating with it. And the main reason for that is because we have a 96 3-point rating. My 6'3 build will not get a 96 3-point rating until I'm starter 3. Right now I'm starter 2 20%, so we're gonna see how overpowered a 96 3 is on that build as well. But I wanted a build that I could dominate with right now. The second I make it, I could go in the park and run up a 30-game streak every single time I get on that twos court. And that is exactly what I do. And the reason for that is this badge right here, Hall of Fame Set Shot Specialist, which you're gonna see we get to legend using our max +1. This is by far the best badge in the entire game. Whenever you catch and shoot, it activates. Whenever you dribble, it activates. This badge is what we thought Shifty Shooter was gonna be at Community Day. So when you have it on legend with a 96 3-point rating, your green window feels huge. Even with the RNG that they be doing on 2K, you've seen that I shoot 100% in some of my park games, while 2K is actively trying to make me miss. We have a 92 ball handle, so you get all the best dribble moves in the game for your position. The only dribble move you miss out on, I think, is Steve Francis, which nobody even uses anyways. You have an 87 perimeter defense and an 86 steal, which means you're able to guard the ball with no problem whatsoever. Whenever I'm playing twos, I don't switch with a lockdown or anything. I actually play with a 7-foot center who sits in the paint while I guard both people, because I can bait and switch super easily with this build. Between my perimeter defense, my steal, my speed, and agility, I can literally guard 2 people at the same exact time, bro. It is actually insane. And then finally, we have a 73 free driving dunk just to have the dunk threat so people play a straight up. And if you make the build, you finally get a build name that I actually like, and it is a two-way 3-point shot hunter. The reason I like this build name is because it's extremely accurate. We are a two-way player, we can play defense and offense, and we are trying to chuck up threes at a high efficiency, which is what we do. Now that you got the build, let's get into the jump shot, the dribble moves, and the best animations you want to equip so you could dominate on day one. Alright y'all, let's start with the jump shot. Everybody in my Twitch chat has been spamming me for this jump shot, and you already know that I got y'all. The base is Kyrie Irving, release 1, Oscar Robertson, release 2, D'Anthony Melton, 100% release speed, and the blending is 75% Oscar Robertson, 25% D'Anthony Melton. And finally, the visual cue is up to you. I like to use push, and if you use push, you want to release your jump shot right before your player flicks his wrist. So literally at the peak of his jump shot, right before he flicks his wrist, that is your green window. And whenever you start catching and shooting and greening lightly contested at a high rate, I want you to come back to this video and say, thank you, Grinding, this jump shot is chicken. And these are the best dribble moves in NBA 2K25 for this build. You're gonna want to go Darius Garland dribble style. This is the thing that gives you the same side speed boost that I do. Kemba Walker's signature size up, just a really good move to switch your ball hand. Regular breakdown and aggressive breakdown are both Isaiah Thomas. Escape move is Steph Curry. Not only is it a ridiculously good move to crab people with, but it's just an also really good way to switch hands and speed boost out of. Combo moves John Morant. Crossover Zach LaVine, just a really glitchy move to get a free dunk. Behind the back Darius Garland, but be careful when using this move. If you use it at the right time, it is a turnover 100% of the time, but I use it because it creates the most space and I know when to use it. Spin is Steve Nash. Honestly, I never spin anyways. The best hesitation in the game by far is Chris Paul, gives you the best same side speed boost. And then finally, the best step back in the game is Zach LaVine. Not only creates space, but it also combos really well with all of your other dribble moves. My dribble pull-up, I'm using Pro 2, the best dribble pull-up for fades. My hop jumper, I'm using Kyle Lowry. I'm sure y'all have heard about this before. It just creates a lot of space on an ISO. The best motion style for guards is Jalen Suggs. You shouldn't be running any other motion style. And finally, the only dunks I have equipped are rim grazes off 1, basic one-handers off 1, Manu Ginobili, and Klay Thompson. You want the fastest dunks in the game. You don't want to do flashy things that could get you blocked from behind. That's why you choose these simple dunks. You have a lower driving dunk rating like we do on this build. And last but not least, the badges. More specifically, what you should use your badge elevators on and what you should use your max +1 on. Whenever you make this build, you're gonna have silver badges if you use it as a rebirth build. I recommend getting rebirth before you make this build because then you'll start with silver badges. And then you're gonna use a badge elevator to get set shot specialist up to Hall of Fame immediately. Like I said, this badge activates literally on every shot you shoot in the entire game. It is a super overpowered badge, and it's why I'm shooting so well every day on stream. And then after that, you're gonna go to your badge perks and you're gonna max +1 it to get legend set shot specialist. Can't vouch for this badge enough. It is ridiculously overpowered. And then I put my tier 2 badge on Dimer just to help my teammates green as well. And then finally, what you should upgrade first when you make this build. Obviously, every single build I make can be 99 overall. I know some of y'all either have to still make 85s or 90s or 92s. So I'm gonna just tell you the order of what I would upgrade. So first, you're gonna want to get your 3-point up to at least a 92. All right, if you're at a 92 at first, you'll be perfectly fine. You're gonna want to max out your ball handle, max out your speed with ball, and then make your pass accuracy around a 60 overall rating. You're gonna want to get your speed to at least an 80, your agility to at least an 80, and then you're gonna want to make your steal and perimeter defense an 80 each as well. And then from then on, depending how many points you have with whatever overall you can get to, you would either start upgrading your driving dunk, or if you don't have that many left over, you would just raise your perimeter defense or steal to make your defense better. And then as you upgrade, you would finish off your build in that order. 3-point comes first, and then your physicals, and then your defense, and then your driving dunk. But anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope y'all enjoy this build. Everyone knows that I've been loving it on 2s. I've been playing with this for like 5 days straight, and as y'all can see, it has been doing wonders for my 3-point percentage. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been doing videos so much that I haven't been able to play the game. I feel like in a week I'm gonna be shooting 55% plus on this build. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.
Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots while they steady be taunting. Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots while they steady